And welcome back aboard Blurred Force One with your boy Mo and your girl Polly. And this is the Supercast. The Supercast where we talk about all things superhero in our pop culture media, movies, TV shows, video games. We talk about the news, do some speculation, all of that good nerdy stuff. And before we get into the podcast today, you know what to do. Get down there and hit like on this video. So, superhero spring is in full effect right now because this week we had Daredevil Born Again Season 2, episodes 2 and 3, and a new episode of Invincible. That I didn't watch because stuff, y'all don't get on me. I'm gonna catch up on it next week or the week after. But whatever. Daredevil's out. Super Mario Galaxy dropped in the theater this weekend. And also, we are getting ready for The Boys season 5 premiere next week. It's a lot of stuff going on right now. If you're a superhero comic book nerd, it's a great time. So, speaking of comic book nerds, we got our favorite one here with us today. This, of course, is Polly, whose claim to fame is, among other things, being one of the lead Reed Richards haters on the internet. She is, you would think that's her full-time job, but no, I'm kidding, of course. She's
I
also.
wish it was.
Is that a
I
paying
mean,
gig? Is that a paying gig? I'm just
I
saying.
hope. Doom should start paying me. Actually,
But yeah, how you doing, Polly? Good to see you.
and not just in Doom's good vibes.
Well,
Well,
he has Doom bucks. They are spendable in Latveria.
yeah, you know what? Actually, I actually read one of the issues of She-Hulk specifically about that, and Latvian money. I think they're like Latvian marks. They are not accepted anymore.
That's
Like it's illegal
surprising.
to have them in other countries. So
Hmm.
probably that's the reason why. Like I feel like I'm not getting paid enough.
I mean, you can only spend. It's like you can only spend it in Latveria. You have to be in Latveria for it to count.
But yeah,
So it's not
yeah.
like cryptocurrency. You can turn into other things. Even though Doom
Well,
should.
technically, I mean, yeah, Doom coin.
Doom
That
coin
should
would
be a thing.
now see I could get by, that's one of the cryptos, that's the only crypto I get behind is Doom coin because it's backed up by the might of Doom himself.
No, it's more complex than that. Every coin is backed by like 5 Doom bots. So
that's
you get literal might and you get like physical might.
that's
If
an
as an owner
expensive.
you are entitled to a Doombot's presence at all times.
How do you mine Doom coin though? That's the
You
question.
don't. You don't. Doom coin mines you.
Oh,
Uh,
well, I would say what you been up to this week though.
oh, a lot of nerdy stuff. A lot of nerdy stuff, and you're gonna like one of the things that I did. But like before that, I played a lot of Marvel Rivals, of course.
Oh, here's a
New season
surprise.
is going on, and they just released a new map yesterday. It's Lower Manhattan. It's like inspired by Kingpin and his, initiative against superheroes. So that's going on, and I did play my placement matches, and I did place in Gold 3. So right away, right off the bat, at the beginning of the season, I already get the skins for the
Nice.
character, for the new character. Aside from that, I of course read a lot of comics, and I will tell all about that. Most of the comics I read were She-Hulk comics. Actually, all of the comics I read were She-Hulk comics, and I'm like getting closer to Rainbow Rose run on She-Hulk. I'm gonna start this tonight, hopefully. But everything before that, I read. And I did do something very, very special yesterday. I decided to catch up on Invincible. Season
Oh
3.
shoot.
I watched like
Nice.
4 episodes yesterday in the evening, and yeah, it's pretty fun. I just, I can't. Well, I do remember why I stopped watching because I kind of like weekly release kind of got boring for me, and but binging it's fantastic. it's got to the point where what was happening? Oh, well, Nolan and that Alan broke
Yeah,
out of the prison. Yeah.
nice. Have you gotten to
Oh, that's
so
pretty.
you haven't gotten to the Invincible War episode yet?
Not yet, not
Okay,
yet.
that's that. I can't
And
wait. That's the
it does seem like I remember everything that was going on. I don't remember how he got out of this alternative future.
oh yeah. Oh, I'll tell you. And the when he was stranded on the other
Yeah.
reality
Hmm.
after killing Angstrom. Yeah. So what happened was a future because that's in the future. That's not in the present, right? So this is an
Hmm.
alternate universe that's in the future. So a version of the Guardians of the Globe knew he was there,
Oh yeah, yeah. They
and that
came.
they
I
came
remember
and they
that,
sent him
and
back. Yeah,
that's where he talked
yeah
with this
he talked.
another Eve.
Yeah, and she say, "I always
Yeah.
loved you,"
Hmm.
and he was like, "Oh, wait a minute, I can get with Eve. Fuck
And
Amber."
then he went back and he told her, and he immediately fucked up. I mean, his friend just told him like, "Don't mention that other Eve." He went ahead and mentioned her in that same episode. What a fool. Anyway, yeah, that's been going on. That's been fun, and I can't wait to get to the newer episodes.
Hmm.
But well, of course, that'll take a while.
I mean, it doesn't have to,
But,
but
yeah.
they are long. They're 45-minute episodes,
They
so it's
are, yeah, and it's fun because they at times it does feel like they are really, like you said last week, they're dragging out some scenes.
yeah.
Because like that beating that I mean Nolan was getting a beating, and then when Alan was getting a beating, that took a while. Like
Hmm.
didn't need to be that long.
Yeah.
You spent like 5 minutes showing like slow mo punches and stuff like this. It didn't have to be that long. But yeah, otherwise it's really fun. It's really exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait till you get caught up. Like I have to. I'm only one behind though, so I don't feel that bad.
Yeah, I think by next week I'll be there.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about. Well, yeah, we can finally. We can do a joint a review of this season.
Yeah, and then I'll forget to watch The Boys or something like that.
I'll see how that's possible. It's gonna be. I feel like the boys are gonna be all over social media. You won't be able to get away
Oh
from
yeah.
them. Nobody's really
Hmm.
talking about Invincible season 4 right now. Not really. It's being drowned out by excitement over
Daredevil for
trailers and
sure.
Daredevil. So yeah, I get it. I mean, it's the animated stuff. It's never gonna get the same respect. um,
And 97 back to different.
Oh yeah, well when 97 comes out, it's backed. But I actually think that X-Men 97 discourse this time around is going to be interesting because people are going to be like what's I forget the guy. What's the Bo de
Good
Mayo.
amount.
This don't hit the same. I feel like I'm feeling that coming, but we're going to see. Um so well
Well,
that's how Oh, go ahead.
yeah. No, I was gonna say that maybe like the season was written a while ago, and I think that like normally an X-Men show would respond to whatever is going on
Mhm.
at this time. And this season, I don't think that it will do the same thing. So well,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Um, well, as for me, my nerdy stuff this week, I did some things. I finished watching It Welcome to Derry. Great show. Really enjoyed it. And especially the finale. Great. It's a great finale. I do recommend it to anybody who cares at all about the It chapter 1 and 2 movies. It's very good. Um, I think it's interesting because they intentionally wrote it so that the characters from this season, that's the end of their story. So next season is a totally different cast of characters. I think it's sort of semi anthology like in that sense. I'm enjoying what they're doing, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do with the second season, which is taking place 26 years in the past. So it's 1935. Should be very very cool. Also, I watched the first couple episodes of Iano season 2. Um, I'm feeling more or less about it like I did last season, which was the first 4 episodes of season 1 were all right. Because they're setting up. It's a more explicitly kid focused show, and so it plays more like those episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender that are more, kid show
So none.
trope-ish. No, I mean there are episodes of
Eh,
there are episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender. You're like, okay, there's a joke there, or there's a gag or something that they're just going to build a whole episode around. And they're good, but they're not as good as the more ones that are moving the story forward. But Yano, it's like it's not amazing. It's all right so far, but I'm hoping it gets better. There are a few glimmers of like, you know, very very serious promise that we're seeing in the first couple episodes, but they really are just setting up what's happening. Um, Also, what else I do? Well, I went and saw Super Mario Galaxy yesterday, the sequel to the Super Mario Brothers movie, and it was fine. I'm gonna keep it real. Um, like if I were doing if this were a Rotten Tomatoes situation, it would get it would get a thumbs up from me. But I think it's missing something that the first one had. um, it's doing a lot of setup for other things in the future. It does tell a cohesive story. I think there's less Bowser, and that's probably for the worst. I mean, he's in it. He is in it a good amount, but there's a lot of him in the first one, and it's lesser for him not being in it as much. They focus on Bowser Jr. I don't like him that much. Um, Peach gets a ton of cool stuff to do. Mario and Luigi are they're in it, but I don't know that this is their movie. Like they're this may be a co-lead situation with Peach, and I'm not mad about that. Rosalina's there, but she's just kind of the damsel in distress. There's a lot of cool looking things happening, but I'm gonna be honest, and maybe it's just I was just tired, but I dozed. I nodded off a few, a couple times, and I noticed I was doing it, and I was just like, ah. But I perked up at the end when they were having the final fight. Look, if you are a diehard Nintendo fan, it's this is going to scratch all the itches. They got Fox McCloud's in it. They're referencing different things. They're clearly setting up the Super Smash Brothers or something like that. Um, but beyond that, I mean, the story it's not particularly groundbreaking in its story elements. It's not, it's telling a fairly simple story about someone being captured and Peach having to, Peach and Mario and all them having to go rescue them and to prevent Bowser Jr. But there's also like a little, a father son story between Bowser and Bowser Jr. It's interesting, but if you've seen it done better in other places. And so really the draw of it is how much you like the characters and how much you like the settings, because you're going to get plenty of Nintendo. And if that's your jam, this will be good to you. If you got kids or you got younger, nephews or nieces or nephews that really like that, they're going to love it. They really are. If you are a more seasoned moviegoer, this is not going to do anything for you that you haven't seen before or better, pretty much. So, I mean, I give it a thumbs up, but I'm not saying it's amazing.
well, a thumb up.
Yeah, or
Just one.
yeah, well, yeah, a thumb up. I think go see it if you like the first one. If you really like the first one, definitely go see it. Um, and maybe take your little one and get some vicarious enjoyment from them. So also, we had April Fool's Day this last week, and I hated it.
I ignore it. I hate that.
I fucking hate April Fool's Day. Used to, you know what? Before the internet, April Fool's Day was actually really fun. Like I like.
No, it wasn't.
Well, I mean, it was fun in the sense that everyone was just kind of like, "Oh yeah," that it'd be some stupid little joke or whatever. It wasn't like, "Oh my God, did you hear that they're making like Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Amazing Spider-Man 4 and Tobey Maguire is coming back and all?" It was never any of that crap
Yeah, but that's like
with
average
fake
Wednesday
headlines. Yeah.
for this garbage
Yeah.
YouTube channels.
Because that's my problem is that April Fool's Day it used to be fun because you just personally with some people you say something silly or like April Fool's this or that. It was just that. But with the internet and with in the way the world is and the way pop culture is, there's no difference between regular old cosmic book news or my time to shine or whatever, their average crap that they post every day, and April Fools. So like I was like, the April Fools, this day sucks, and I hate being online with you people because you're not even clever. You folks are not, y'all aren't clever. You're not funny. You're just doing like regular, like Daniel RPK, oh, breaking, so and so is happening. Nobody, not only does nobody fucking believe it, because, people don't believe your shit on the regular basis. It's like, it's not clever. So, anyway, that happened. And then, also, I had a lot of fun watching people roast certain black celebrities, C list, B, C, D list celebrities for what their coonery. I'm thinking about Nick Cannon's Chili from the group TLC being exposed for their MAGA foolishness, and then like Stephen A. Smith, who was a sports commentator, that he talking about he wants to run for president. No, no, motherfucker, nobody gonna vote for you. Nobody, people barely like you.
It's April Fool's. Yeah, probably she was
No,
joking.
it's April Fool. It could have been, should have been called April Coombs, because like every single one of them, every single one of, like, Nick Cannon is, he's,
I keep hearing people talk about him. I can't for the life of me remember who he is and what he does.
well, he was an actor. He has been a
In
singer.
what?
Um, he was in a movie in the 2000s called Love Don't Cost a Thing, which was a remake of Can't Buy Me Love from the 80s.
Mm,
Um,
yeah, I
he
only remember the song like
no,
by J Lo.
yeah, he was in that with Christina Milian, who I don't even know if remember who that is. He was also in the movie Drumline, um, back again in the early 2000s. Yeah, that's a black card movie, but
That shit
it
missed me.
that's a black card movie if you're American. If you're not American, it's fine that you missed it. Um, and then he had his show Wild and Out on MTV for a while, which was like a comedy, kind of variety show.
Yeah,
um,
I should have heard about that, but I didn't.
and then he's, like I said, he's been a recording artist. He's had a couple hits. Um, and trying to remember what's the other thing he was in. Oh, wasn't he on, like, wasn't he a host of like America's Got Talent or American Idol? He was something
I
like that.
know. Does
So,
America Got Talent?
well, I mean, it does, but not from these fools. But no, I'm not gonna take away from that. Him, and he had some talent. He's rich for a reason. It's not just because he's good looking or anything. It's he had some talent. He started off doing comedic stuff too. So I mean, he's got some talent. Stephen A. Smith, he's a sports commentator that's very loud and abrasive and whatever, and he styles himself as free thinking and whatever. He's not. Um,
Wait,
and
wait, what kind of pre-thinking are you supposed to
free
like
think when
do as
it
a sports commentator? You comment on sports, do that.
well, I mean, free
The-
thinking
the-
when it comes to
Nobody wants political advice from like a sports
I mean,
commentator.
I will listen to what people have to say if they got, and then once I deem, oh, you're an idiot, I'm like, all right, go back to sports commentating.
It's an idiot.
But he's not
Yeah.
an idiot, but also he's very self-serving. The thing about Stephen A. Smith is he's got a platform because of sports, but now he's trying to be like, well, politics, this, that, and the other. And when I say free thinking, when it comes to black people, especially black celebrities, but black people in general in America, what white people call free thinking really is, um, you know, more about serving white supremacy.
Mhm.
Like, then you're free thinking. You're not thinking about, you're thinking about what conservative white people think. If you think their way, then you're free thinking. If otherwise, you're on a plantation. That's what they say. So he's on that foolishness, and nobody cares about. Nobody wants you to run for anything. You'll get 0 votes. You'll get your vote maybe, and then Chili from TLC, she's just fucking up the bag for all the ladies that are on that little tour. That she, kind of a '90s tour with like her group and like In Vogue and Salt and Pepper, and basically her being outed as MAGA, undercover MAGA. It's kind of like,
Yeah, I saw that
yeah,
one.
yeah. She got getting
Like
exposed.
what she say? Like she didn't read the fine print.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, yeah. So
Okay.
all of that's very funny to me. Because people are like, oh, black people can have different thoughts, and I agree. There are conservative black people. They're not all idiots. I'm not saying they're not. They're mostly just
Uh,
self-serve. They're. I don't think they're idiots. I
uh,
I think I mean
you
they.
know what? I mean, you can play that card when you don't understand what being conservative means, because you can be all kinds of self-serving serving you want, but when they run out of enemies, you become the enemy.
Yeah,
This is not news. This is not the first time this happening. This is like, look at Russia. For God's sake, look at Russia, because when they ran out of like opposition, they came for their own,
yeah,
and they continue coming for their own. And
exactly.
you're on that list, and you're low on that list. Like you are. I mean, not probably high up on that list. I don't know,
No,
depending on which end they're gonna start with.
yeah.
Uh, so self-serving and conservative, those are two things that don't mix.
I mean, they can if you're a member of the majority that the conservative party
Well,
is.
yeah,
But
but they're not.
they're not. They're useful idiots. And
And they're not really even, not even the lighter dark people. They're straight up straight up black people.
yeah. So
What the hell are you thinking?
well, I think their problem is that they buy into the lie about oh, it's just about black and white is not important. Green is what matters. The color of the money. And
Yeah, that's true.
it is true that it's a class situation, but in America, class is defined, and in fact, I will say, anywhere where white people dominate the politics, underneath all of that whole class shit, the class is defined largely by race. So,
Yeah,
so it doesn't matter where you are. Like you can talk about, oh, I'm just trying to get my money. Well, I can understand being self-serving in that way, but at some point, they're going to remind you that you're not one of them. You're one that you're useful right now, but at some point they'll remind you you're not one of
yeah,
us. So, but I found all of that quite funny, and fuck them, because it's not gonna bother. Nick Cannon has zero to do with anything in my life, and I do nothing to contribute to his wealth. So fuck him. Same thing with Chili. Same thing with Stephen A. Smith. I hope they reap the benefits of their coonery, and they will, because but Stephen A's rich. They're all rich. So, Chili may be the one that needs the money the most. The other two, they'll be all right. So, fuck them. Anyway, that was my week.
no,
That was my week of nerdy stuff. Which means, of course, that it's time for us to go to Polly Has Issues, where our resident, comic book aficionado and expert talks about the comics she has been reading this week. Because you know what?
oh yeah.
There are Marvel comics that need reading, and she's the one that's going to do it. So, um, let's see what she got in store for us this week.
I do have a lot of She-Hulk, like a lot of She-Hulk,
Or I call
because
it
I started.
she woke. That's what they want to call it. She woke.
MCU.
And she woke.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I started by finishing Dan Slott's run, which was amazing. It was really fun. And yeah, it has some moments that are, that probably like loud and clear show you that a man wrote this. But other than that, like it's fun. It has a lot of like interesting moments, and this is one run I would really recommend to everyone who wants to know what kind of character she is and what she's all about. After that, it was I think like the break was is the Civil War or some other event. But after, mm, No, it was World War Hulk, which I also read. Uh, and after that, like She-Hulk was written within the same run. She was written by Peter David, and it is a different take. It is a very different take because at that point she stops being a lawyer. She's disbarred, and she is working as a bounty hunter. And in the latter, at the beginning of this part of the run, in the latter, Peter David wrote that like it's really hard to follow something as great as Dan Slott's run, and apparently, uh, did he succeed? I don't know. It's very different. He did a very different characterization. She's a little darker. It's a little more moody and stuff like that. She teams up with a Skrull. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's different. Would I recommend it? Not necessarily. Not to everyone who likes, the fun-loving, outgoing She-Hulk, because she's very different in this one. But it's important to her story, nonetheless. After that, we had She-Hulks, which is a really fun story by Harrison Wilcox. It has like Jen not teaming up, but like looking after her niece from an alternative future, Lyra, and she's also the Hulk. She's Bruce's daughter from an alternative future, again, and she goes to the regular high school. It's a very short. I think it's 4 or 5 issues, but like this had so much potential because I would really read a story about a Hulk going to school. And this was fun, but she got quickly outed and kicked out of the school because the wizard showed up at her prom. But other than that, like the run was really great, and the characters were really great. Her dynamic with this kid was amazing, like Jen's dynamic with this kid, and in general, like Hulk made a lot of appearances. It was really fun. After that, of course, Charles Soule, She-Hulk, Charles Soule and Javier Pulido. It was also a very good run, like incredibly good. And in this one, She-Hulk finally has her own practice, and it does focus on a lot of her cases, and it's very exciting. And she goes up against Matt Murdock in court and wins. Spoiler
Oh,
alert!
that is
Because
that is
yeah,
that what that's is that what that interaction is based on? Like from the TV
uh,
show?
probably, but it's a little bit different because in that version they. Uh, Matt was representing someone who was suing Captain America, and Jen was representing Captain America. And again, spoiler, but when it's all over and they all three of them are walking somewhere to beat up the bad guy responsible for this whole thing, they're asking like, why did you choose us to represent you and like argue against you? And he says that I chose Matt because he is dark enough to think that I actually did it, and I chose Jen because I wanted to win. I didn't want to lose. So yeah, well now we officially know that Jen is much better, a much better lawyer than Matt Murdock. Again, I knew that already because Matt is a terrible lawyer, despite all the foolishness and showing off that we've seen in Spider-Man movies. He is a terrible lawyer. He doesn't show up to court. He's always in his own bullshit and in his own head. He will lose the case to like prove a point. Jen would win. And the last one I read was She-Hulk, Jen Walters Must Die by Mariko Tamaki. And this one deals with Grey She-Hulk, her after going against Thanos in like Civil War II, and she was due to that because she got bitten in that one.
She got bitten
She
by
turned
a radioactive Gray Hulk.
no, she got her ass kicked by Thanos, and she started turning into a gray savage version of She-Hulk, who she called it Hulk, and it was like very much like the Hulk. And she had to deal with that. She had to, find her way back to the normal green self. Again, very good run. Very short, like it's a mini run. I think this one had 5 issues, and good story, interesting stuff. So yeah, that was a lot of She-Hulk issues, and she's a great character. She is much deeper than I thought she would be, and there is like an element to her which I would discuss. I already have like an article, whole article or an essay mapped out in my head about her. Uh, I don't know if it's gonna be a video or like just
Video. I'm voting for
an
video.
essay. It's probably gonna be a video and an essay because everything I want to say, I that would probably take a whole book. But she is like there is a lot to her character, and I wish that we had a season 2 of her show because we could have dealt with a lot of stuff. Either way, Richie Hulk, great character. Watch the show, great show. That's it from me on the comics.
It sounds to me like she's super woke, so that's why we're
Yeah,
that's why we're not getting any more. That's why we're not getting any more.
way too woke.
She's like I said, she woke, not she Hulk. Well, that's cool. You know what? One day I'll read them. Probably not, but one day I might get around to it.
But
Who knows?
these are like starting from Dan Slott's run. You start reading these books and you can't stop because they always end on something interesting, and you just one more, one more, one more. Really, I think it took me about a week to go through all these issues.
Hmm.
Yeah, and like older ones, they're a little more boring, but these ones, they're fantastic.
Right. Well, I know one thing. I know Marvel Unlimited hate to see you coming because they know it's gonna be an all
I
nighter.
actually do get my money's worth.
I
I
could
pay
tell.
and I do get my money's worth because I would feel weird otherwise because it was just expire and I wouldn't get everything I can out of it. And I try to do that.
That's
That's an
me.
investment for me.
That's me. Well, hey guys, we are gonna now that we've looked at Polly's comics, we're gonna talk about a little bit of news. Not a ton of news this week, but some cool things happened. We're gonna talk about a rumor about the is Doomsday not gonna happen. We're not sure. We're gonna see what Marvel's gonna do. We got a Masters of the Universe new trailer and a Supergirl new trailer that we're going to talk about, and then Daredevil episodes 2 and 3 dropped. We are going to discuss what happened in those episodes. So, kind of a shorter amount of stuff, but I bet we can get another hour out of it. So, let's go ahead and jump into that. So, are we not getting Doomsday? Look, I have to tell you, I was really excited for Doomsday. I got my steel suit, and I also got my, Doctor Doom mask. I was ready. I had my
Pretty sure,
yeah, I had
pretty
my
sure steel suit is the only way to survive that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I I also had like the spice melange. I was gonna like make some, I was gonna, inhale
You can't
some.
use that in public.
I was gonna inhale some of that, and also, and also I was gonna try to get the thing to come hang out. It was gonna be a thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Doomsday, y'all had me hyped up for Doomsday, and now Marvel talking about they ain't gonna even do it. Come on,
They heard
man.
you the last week.
Look, I said I was gonna go see both of them. I didn't say I wasn't gonna see both. So, but look, maybe some cooler heads are prevailing because traditionally speaking, in Hollywood, they don't like doing this. Blockbusters don't like being side by side with each other. Um, oh, hold on a second. For whatever reason, I do not see. I don't see us. Why don't I see us? I don't know why. Let me pause.
Maybe you don't see color.
No. No, something's going on. All right, so after that little bit of technical difficulty, y'all can see us now. Cool. I'm not editing this out. So yeah, so Doomsday sh- should be a thing, but it shouldn't be a thing because look, blockbusters shouldn't be next to each other. It's just the truth. And not only that, as I was saying last week, blockbusters that are playing in the same, in the same sandbox, so to speak, that they're in the same lane. They should not be coming out on the same week unless you just like don't like money. If you don't like money, I guess you could just be like, sure, whatever. Who cares? I'll make the consumers choose between one of us. Like, they're Betty and Veronica. You got to pick one, Archie. Which make a choice. And Archie's just trying to figure. You ever see those comic covers where Archie is doing something with one of them, and then at the other time he's like kissing the other one? It's
Yeah.
like that. Like the consumers, we're not Archie. We can't play like that. So I think really this is about IMAX screens.
Also, like not like the Daredevil who would
Oh,
like have both.
oh, your audio is being weird right now.
Why?
I I'm not sure. Let me see. Uh, say something else.
Um, anything?
Ooh,
Is
yeah.
it better?
No. Hold on a sec.
No.
Yeah. So again, we had another technical difficulty. It's all good. We're back. So yeah. What are you? I was saying, like I said, the consumer, they don't want to have to pick between the two of them, right? They don't, and so they're gonna pick one. So if you don't like money, sure, fight for it. But they want the IMAX screens,
Like
right?
money.
Yeah, the IMAX screens is really what's at play here because Dune has them all. And I don't blame, like, Dune was supposed to be where it is this whole time. So, of course, they got all the IMAX screens. They never thought that they were going to be running against Doomsday. And then, of course, Doomsday gets pushed back. Now they're in the same weekend, and there's no sharing IMAX screen. You ever notice that? On major releases, only one film gets that IMAX screen, just one. And so Dune has it locked up. So now Marvel's like, maybe we should move because we want that IMAX money too.
You
And
only have one IMAX screen, so yeah.
yeah, I
I've
mean,
noticed that.
it's like it makes sense to me. Like if they're gonna move it, and mind you, it's not they're not gonna move it majorly. At the most, maybe a month, right? So right around the Thanksgiving time, because I think it's supposed to be the 18th. So this will be
I think
like
it was supposed to be like December 10th.
yeah, so it's one of the it's like that or 18th something like that. So this would basically be pushing it a few 2 or 3 weeks to get it an exclusive IMAX run before Doom basically dominates. I don't know. This are you? I feel like this is likely. Do you think so?
It's possible. I
I
mean,
mean,
it's possible, and it makes sense, and they don't need to be this close together,
no,
like the
absolutely
same day.
not. But Jumanji 3 is there punching the air like.
Well, it's not like
Like, come on.
they were gonna get all that audience.
There is some crossover
I think
audience.
like they fry like yeah through people.
No, Jumanji 3 is they are toasted. Like let's just call it what it is.
That's okay.
I
I think
first,
they know it's okay. We know it's okay.
I think this is the situation of, these are two behemoths and anybody that's anywhere near it is just gonna get either you're gonna hide, run and hide, or you're gonna get crushed underfoot. And Jumanji can't afford to be running and hiding because it's a big budget movie too. It's got some major people in it. It's got a lot of
Like who?
special effects. I mean, it's got The Rock and Jack Black. So and also Karen Gillan is
Yeah.
coming. Karen Gillan is
Well, I
coming
like
back.
her. I don't like him.
Yeah, but these are big ticket, and oh, also,
No,
no,
personally, I would pay to not see him.
well, you also have Kevin Hart, so you have big ticket actors in this. They've got to make their money, and
They're not doomed.
being sandwiched between Doomsday and between Dune, you can't. I won't even say sandwich. It's more like they're in a mortar and pestle. They're in the middle, and they're gonna get grinded to dust because between those two, because mind you, even if Doomsday opens up a full month earlier than it was going to, let's say the week before Thanksgiving, even if that's true, in 3 weeks' time, because this opens the week before Dune, in 3 weeks' time, Doomsday is still going to be the biggest thing at the box office, and it's still going to be taking a lot of the oxygen, out of the air. They are in a no-win situation. They can't even move. They can't move. Even if they did move, it's either to get closer to Doomsday or to get closer to Dune. There's no winning this. Jumanji 3 is cooked. And I'm still going to go see it because I really like the series. But this is a smart move if Marvel does it, because they're leaving money on the table if they're directly competing with Dune. Even though Dune, I think Dune's audience skews older, but still, that's giving the audience an opportunity to be like, okay, cool, I saw the Marvel movie, now I'm going to go see Dune, is better than which one am I going to pick, right? So we'll see. I feel like we're going to see something about this very soon, and we'll talk about it if and when they confirm it. Let's talk about some trailers. The Master of the Universe official trailer dropped. We've already seen the teaser trailer,
Mm-hmm.
and people were like, okay, this actually kind of looks good. And also, it has Jared Leto in the way that most people want to consume him, which is CG and no face. No face, no CG. And also, his voice has been changed. And we get more of this in this trailer. They dropped the new trailer. And it got
the irony in it is ridiculous. Like, he looks good objectively, and like he has a good voice objectively, but none of this.
Nobody likes him.
Nobody wants to see that or hear that.
Nobody likes Leto. He's
yeah.
It's like,
well, that's on him.
He's like the real life Skeletor. No, so this trailer dropped, and I feel bad for them because they dropped it, and then Supergirl was like, "All right, get the fuck out of the way. I'm coming through." So that
sounds like something she did.
Yeah, pretty much. She just like kind of
very in character.
She just kind of pushed him out the way and said, "Actually, look at me." That being said, so this isn't even it's a new trailer, but it's not. It's an expansion on the teaser, because we got a bunch of stuff from the teaser in this also. But I think we get a slightly more on the story. We get a little bit more, like Sir Idris Elba gets to talk more in this. And also we hear a little bit more from Tila, and we see his mom, and the Battle Cat and all that other stuff. We see more of Skeletor and the bad guys that he's going to be fighting. Look, I'm not expecting this movie to like be a cinematic masterpiece, but I do expect it to be entertaining. It looks fun. I keep saying Guardians of the Galaxy, and hate me for making that comparison if you want, but it's just there, right? It has a look, and I'm not mad about it. I think this could be a good time at the theater, and also it's by Steven S. DeKnight, who did Bumblebee. I will remind y'all, that's one of my favorite Transformers movies. He did Kubo and the Two Strings. He's got a good eye for these sorts of things. So I'm quite excited for this. What do you think about this trailer?
I'm trying to wait a second, because you said Steven DeKnight, and I was like,
I want to say it's
the same.
I want to say it's the guy. I get him mixed up. There's another guy. There's a Knight, something Knight, and then there's Steve.
Yeah, Steven DeKnight is he worked on Angel.
So there's Daredevil. There's two guys. So I might be getting
Smallville.
I may be getting his name.
I think this is the wrong one.
Yeah, maybe it's Steven Knight. But either way, he's the director of Bumblebee. And Kubo and the Two Strings. But yeah, so you saw it. What did you think about this trailer?
Well, you said that like you expected it to be, you didn't expect it to be good. I kind of like expected to be like the Dungeons and Dragons movie or the Barbie movie, which is like unexpectedly good and something
my God, please,
don't expect to.
let
Like,
that be
yeah,
true.
something you don't expect to be good, but it accidentally happens. Uh, but that's, yeah, everything else you said, kind of, yeah, I agree. And I can't say that like I don't have any specific ties to this franchise because I haven't watched the show and I don't know a lot about it. But it does sound like something I would enjoy. Probably, like it looks like a fun movie night.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's definitely. Look. It's not trying to tell a super complicated story, and I don't need it to. It's
And
a.
that's a plus.
It's a. Look. It's silly. It's that's the thing about like if you think about Transformers, it's kind of silly. Like when you really think about what's happening, you're like, okay, this is all right. This is like kind of a silly ass concept. But as long as they're sincere about it and like try to aim for some kind of like emotional resonance or some kind of truth that we all can sort of deal with, it's gonna be all right. It's doing cool shit. Sometimes we just want to see people doing cool shit. That's why the Fast and the Furious movies are any good. It's just some people doing cool shit. You know, if you think about any one Fast and Furious movie, it is not delivering you an amazing narrative. It's not. But there's some people looking cool, doing cool shit. Against some bad guys that you kind of want to lose. Like what else can you ask for? I just want Skeletor to be like that dude. He looks like he's that dude in this. That what actually looks like He-Man might need to actually for real fight this time, and it looks like he is going to be like giving him the business. Also, I forget what's the guy who's the guy that Nicholas Galizatine. He looks
Galitzin.
something like that. He looks really
It's
good.
not something like
I
that. It's
can't
literally your last name.
I can't. I always
Galitzin.
that what you said. Galizatine. Um,
Dude with a Russian last name. I don't know.
look, look, Ari, I read it and it's wrong. It's wrong. I'm sorry. But he looks really good. He actually he looks really good in both at both of his guises as uh Adam and also as He-Man. I think it looks fun. Idris Elba looks good. The young lady that plays Tila, she looks cool. Like this just could just be a cool movie. So I'm not going into it expecting Citizen Kane, and you shouldn't either. But let's go in. Let's try to
You
have
know, I
fun.
watched Citizen Kane. I did not really enjoy it. It was weird.
I've never seen it, but people. It's always whenever people are talking about serious movies, it's one
Yeah,
of
no,
that's
that's
that's mentioned.
Citizen Kane, and I don't know.
Hmm.
There
So,
are
but
like movie critics probably that would be like, "Oh, what are you talking about? Like, you don't know anything about movies if you don't like Citizen Kane." No, sorry, it's just that just wasn't it.
yeah. Well, maybe this will be the Citizen Kane of
I
He-Man
hope it's
movies.
not.
Maybe let me think of a better one. Maybe it'll be the Godfather of
Ah,
fantasy
see,
movies.
there you go again.
You know what? I can't help you then. I maybe it'll be
Let's
a
go with Casablanca.
maybe it'll
That's a
be
good
a
movie.
maybe it'll be a Gone with the Wind of fantasy movies.
Look, let's move on.
Anyway, we'll keep an eye on this. It's coming out. What is this May? I can't remember when this is coming. Maybe it's June, but we'll keep.
Damn. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I think
coming
it's
up soon.
summer.
Yeah, it's coming up soon. We're gonna check it out then. Another trailer, Supergirl. That's the one she bogarted. She came in, elbows out, and was like, "Get out my way, He-Man." And Adam was like,
She
he's
was like, "Move, man, get out the way,"
the thing
and he
is
did.
He-Man can't stand. He's strong. He can't stand up against. He can't stand up against a Kryptonian. So she came up and did her thing. This is a full trailer for Supergirl after that teaser that we got. What's funny about this is, didn't it come out early? I think somebody leaked it and they just went ahead and said, okay, fine. All
Is
right.
that the second time this happens?
Yeah, I think
What?
or
They
no.
have a rat.
Either way, we got the trailer And while I was at work, and I was like, God dang it, y'all always want to put the trailer out when I can't sit there and see it. So I got to be on threads, quick scrolling past every damn thing. It was very annoying.
That's when you take a really long bathroom break.
Yeah, I mean, it. The thing is, I had to do a
You
reaction.
didn't think of that.
Well, I had to do a I had to do a reaction video, so I stayed away from it. If you want to see my reaction for the first time I saw it, it's on the channel.
Yeah, it would have been weird to shoot that in the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, may just don't flush a few times. Uh, it's I really enjoy this one. Both of us have within the last 6 months read Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, so we have a very good idea about where this is going and what it's going to do. And also, we know how sprawling that story kind of is. And I don't know about you, I was just like, how y'all gonna do this in 2 hours?
Well, I see that happening in 2 hours because it's a short story, it's a short book in general. But it did feel to me like they're gonna be, like, it's gonna be pretty close to the story from the book.
Mm-hmm.
It does give that vibe with additional like elements and without some.
I mean, are they gonna do?
I didn't see the horse.
Yeah, they're not gonna do. If they do the horse thing, I will. You know what? I'll stand up and give a personal standing ovation to this movie if they do the horse bit. I don't see it, but if they do it, cool.
Maybe it's gonna be like a horse ex machina, which
I mean,
just not supposed to see the horse.
I wonder if they can make that happen. I think the trailer's awesome.
It's
Lobo is on point. Jason Momoa is. You could tell he's loving life right now. You could tell they were like, he was like, all right, I get to do everything that I was doing before, but like even cooler. And also I get a space Harley. You can't
kiss makeup.
Yeah, I mean all of that. He and just the moments he's on screen with Kara is just great. We see Crypto at various stages of life. And someone said this is like the John Wick of superhero stuff, and I'm like, yeah, they did. They like, if we don't get the antidote in 3 days, he's gonna die. And I was like, oh, say less. Kara Zor-El is not. You ain't the one. She's the wrong one. If Clark would have figured something out, Kara's just gonna beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, but then again, you remember how it went in the book.
Yeah, this is true. That's like I said, I think they're truncating the timeline, because in the book this is months worth of pursuit versus.
But also the dog is fine the whole time.
Yeah, I mean it is Crypto. So
I mean, it's really important to me that they keep it and the dog is fine the whole time, because I don't want none of that mess.
Well, yeah, I'm not.
I know that they probably like it's wiser to not do that, but like I need the dog to be fine the whole time.
Well, Crypto will be
otherwise
fine.
I'm just getting mad.
Crypto will be fine, and because it serves a narrative purpose. So the dog being safe is actually narratively important. You guys will see. Just in general, I think this movie looks like it's gonna be great. Also, did you notice in the trailer there's kind of a reference to Zack Snyder? There's a bit of a reference to Zack Snyder's style. There's a slow-mo walk, like they're all walking and there's smoke and everything. And I was like, that looks like a shit out of Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I'm not. Here the thing is, I'm not shitting on it. There's some aspects of Zack Snyder's style that I think plays well given a good cinematographer.
He just overdoes it usually.
Yeah, his problem is he loves slow motion so much, and I'm like, if he could do the entire movie in slow motion, he would. But
didn't he already do that? Is that how we got 4 hours of Justice League?
It just felt like it was in slow motion to you.
It felt like my life was slipping away as I watched it.
You're like the thing from The Simpsons where Bart is looking at the clock and it ticks backwards.
Yes, that is exactly how that movie felt. to be honest.
Um, no, but I look. I thought this was a great trailer. I'm. They don't need to get me hyped. I keep saying that. You and I, we are already in the bag for this, right? This is it's a not a question whether or not we're going to go see this. This is about getting the normies hyped up for this. And I'm not a normie, but I can't imagine that seeing Supergirl, that S on her chest, whipping the shit out of like a bar full of dudes and like hanging out with like who is this Lobo guy? He looks cool. Um, Krim looks surprisingly menacing, like way more menacing than he ever did in the comic. I thought he was just I was like, why is this guy a problem? But he's way more menacing in the comic. Like there are aspects of this that I'm just like, okay, you guys are. I think you're cooking for sure. I don't know. I'm rambling a lot. What do you think about what you saw there?
Ooh, like my first thought, like I said, it's much closer to the comics than I thought it would be. I do kind of was a little disappointed that they didn't give the oh god, what's her Ruthie the headpiece and the
Oh, that'd
style,
be cool.
of her planet. Yeah, because that was a really stylish choice, and it would have looked cool. They went for the more casual thing, which is also accepted. Yeah. Other than that, it does have this really cool space vibe, which is kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, but also it does feel like different kind of space. And like there is a distinct view of Marvel space, uh, and this is different still. I love it. I'm like really excited to see different worlds, different planets, whichever they decide to pick, like whichever stories from the comics they decide to pick. It does seem like she's gonna be on that planet with the green. What was it like? Green? Not
No,
green.
she was
Like
on
kryptonite.
the planet that the kryptonite planet.
Yeah, the kryptonite planet. That seems like it's gonna happen, and that is a cool part. And that's one of my favorite, probably, stories in that book. Mm. So yeah, Millie Alcock, absolutely stunning. Like I do see. mm, it's pretty obvious like that she's enjoying herself and
Hmm.
that the character really suits her well, and she understands like what kind of different sides of the character, which is probably this story is the best way to describe her. We got like a cameo from Clark, or at least a call. She got that's also exciting. I'm really
Yeah,
like you said, it's sold to us already because I'm gonna be there for sure.
yeah, exactly. um, and also obviously, like they're really smart at DC Studios. They're doing the same thing that Marvel Studios did in the beginning, which just a sprinkle here and there of somebody you already seen and you already like. If it's just a Supergirl movie, just he doesn't have to show up. He just like a little video call, like, "Hey, I'm worried about you. Come on, come back home and you can find your way here and stop. All that stuff. All right, we Superman showed up, right, and that's just a little bit to kind of get him, the connectedness, and then the rest of it is really about her, and of course Lobo that I assume we're going to see more in the future. And just kind of like setting the stakes. But the average person, they don't know what the hell's going on, but they see the S, they see her flying around doing some shit, and they see bad guys, and also they see crypto. There you go. We're at least the kids are going to be in. I don't know if this is going to be as easy a viewing for kids as Superman was, because Superman was I think a lot more kid friendly. I don't know about this one. We gonna see. But this looks great. I can't wait. What's this, June? So we got a few months, but we're almost there, y'all. It's almost Supergirl Day, and we're gonna check it out then. So that means, of course, it's time for us to talk about Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Episodes 2 and 3, which dropped on Wednesday. Um, I did not get to see them until yesterday, and that's fine. I stayed up late to watch these two because, as you guys know, I am not a Disney Plus subscriber, so I had to find alternative means to get to them, and
Watch it alternatively.
alternative viewing methods is what I did. But that being said, these are two episodes that needed to go together, and I love when the showrunners and the executives, they do this, like, because they did that last year. There was a 2 episode drop. I think they did it twice last season.
They did it. Oh, I think yeah, for the first one and for the finale.
Yeah. They did a two. This made sense.
This is weird that they did it like, and people expected it to be an arc, but they did. It's a little bit weird.
I mean,
But it makes sense though.
you can sort of. I mean, it's closing of like, or not closing. it's I think it's bringing to a close the first act of the season.
Well, it could have been a 3 episode drop though.
It could have been, and I'm glad it wasn't, because I think that first one kind of stands on its own very well to basically establish we're back. This is what's going on, and then the next two are essentially ramping up the pressure. This, to me, this is all about how the whole legal structure, like, it's exposing how the whole legal structure and political structure around Fisk is never going to bring him to justice. Like, you can't, like, Matt keeps being like, oh man, like, we got to trust the system. And I'm like, are you?
There is no system.
I'm just trying to figure this out. What in this world makes you think that the system is going to bring Fisk to justice? Like,
it's the same question that I asked on threads. Like, why is Matt surprised every time Fisk does something outrageous, like killing those men? Yeah, and why is he surprised? I mean, you're a grown-ass man. You should know better.
Yeah, like,
you shouldn't be all, oh my god, he did that. No, you should know. You should be able to predict that he would absolutely do that. Otherwise, you're just stupid.
I think that's the thing, is like, and I don't want to say it makes it hard to root for him. I'm always for Matt and Daredevil winning. I think what it makes me question is his competence, because, like, it like,
terrible lawyer,
you're not stupid. You're not stupid. He's not a dumb person. Like, he's like, we got, but he maybe his optimism is annoying. Like, he's not optimistic in the way that Superman is, right? Superman is I'm going to continue to believe that if I set the right example, these people will eventually, follow the example of goodness. Daredevil is not that guy. Daredevil's going around beating the hell out of people. So Daredevil is an acknowledgement by a person that says he believes in the system that he doesn't fucking believe in the system, because whenever it fails, he turns to alternative means. So in a way, Fisk is right about, he is coincidentally right about the vigilante, I was gonna say vigilante vibe. Shout out Megan. But about the vigilante streak is essentially that the idea that the system isn't working, so somebody's outside of the system has got to take it into their own hands to do what they got to do. So Matt, he's kind of a fucking hypocrite in that sense. That said, let's talk about the episodes themselves. Like,
before we do though, it's not just that he's a hypocrite, and he is absolutely, but it's not that for me. The problem is that he does believe in the system. When it fails, he resorts to violence, but it only happens when it's personal to him.
Mm-hmm.
When he sees, like, if he saw a person wrongfully accused somewhere, and even then, not always. Where was he when Hector Ayala was killed?
Yeah.
Probably, like, doing someone somewhere. But
Heather. Oh my god.
Exactly. Not even the best person around. but whenever like if he saw someone wrongfully accused on TV, or like something terrible being done on TV, he wouldn't go out and like punish immediately everyone. He's not an executioner, and like judge, jury, and executioner like the Punisher. I mean, the more I watch him, the more reasonable Punisher seems.
Yeah. What?
It's like all of his issues with Matt seem very reasonable.
What's funny about it is that Karen's like, maybe we should get Frank in on this. And he's like,
Yeah, like he gets
and
results.
Matt takes the time to while he's half dressed to be like,
Of
let me
course.
get on my high horse here. It's not time for the high horse. I know,
Well, he
that's
couldn't
my
exactly do the high
yeah
horse when he was dressed, otherwise she
yeah.
wouldn't buy it.
I mean, it's well okay. Well, I do
That's
want
the
to.
kind of lawyer he is.
I kind
The
of want
shirtless one.
yeah, I kind of want to come back to like that
Yeah,
what this show is saying, but after we
yeah.
sort of talk about the episode specifically. You know what? I'm gonna say something, and I don't think people are gonna agree with me, and that's fine. I think these were all right episodes. These were all right episodes that had some cool things happening in them. When I say all right, I mean that I wasn't super excited about what was happening. Right? I understand these are setup episodes. They're doing something like so. I'm not. I don't want to be surprised all the time, but like I wasn't thrilled except in a few parts. A lot of it was, oh well, oh man, Fisk is terrible. Oh, Fisk is like the king of the court, and what's the maneuvers he's doing. Oh, Fisk is doing something illegal. Oh, the AVTF is and the ICE stand-ins are horrible people. Yeah, I get that. Y'all said that in the first episode. What's all right? What else? Well, let's have more examples of that. Okay, cool. Oh man, that's terrible. But like, what else beyond that? What else are you trying to say? That so I thought the episodes for the most part were all just all right. They did have some really good moments actually. Not just the fight scenes, but like some interpersonal scenes. Um, I wasn't terribly surprised by too much that was going on. They did have more Jack Duquesne, which is a huge highlight for me because Tony Dalton is just I think he's so damn good. Every time Swordsman or Jack are on, really it's just Jack right now. Every time he's on screen, he's saying something that I was like, yes, my guy, say that shit, right? When he's talking with Kirsten, he's not resigning, he's bemused about what's happening. Like he's just like he's I can hear him just like Americans and you guys really think you're in the land of the free. Like that's the way the way he's talking. He's not surprised by anything that's happening. He's not even upset about it. He's accepted that he is to be served up on a platter. His head is literally on the chopping block because of Fisk and not because Fisk cares about vigilantes, but because he slighted him. That's it. He sees it very clearly, and he's not even bothered. He's just like, no, it's just this is the thing that's happening. What he's more,
Mm, I've seen the same kind of reaction, and the same like exactly the same reaction from a lot of people sentenced in Russia
mm-hmm,
for like protests and stuff. That is straight up lifted from that, because this is how processes, like how trials are handled there.
yeah,
The verdict is received via call probably a week ago, like probably as soon as they arrested him, the judges got the call. They know that there is nothing they
yeah,
can or are allowed to do to change the outcome. Whatever the lawyers say doesn't matter.
right,
And the person, the defendant, they know it. And this is kind of like exactly that. So when I watched, it wasn't like the horror or like even remotely surprising to me. It was just like, oh yeah, I've seen that and I
mm-hmm,
know where you got that. I'm 99% sure that you got that there.
Yeah, it was like I really I enjoyed that. Like that this was the episode 3 when that happened. I really enjoyed that whole sequence, and I it made me shake my head even more at Matt because I'm like, how can Jack Duquesne get it and your dumbass can't? Like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, how are you? Like, I can't believe this is happening. How can't you believe it's
Yes,
happening? If you said all the other
exactly.
shit you've seen, of all the other you've been going on this for almost a year, and you
And
still think that shit beyond the pale. What is like? What are you doing? What where world are you living in?
And a lot of people in the comments, in on threads when I wrote that, they were like trying to defend him. They were like, "No, it's he just refuses to believe that people can be that horrible. He believes in the good and the better of humanity, or whatever. He's just isn't that the definition of a stupid person now?"
That part, like,
Because, like, you can believe in the best in people, you can believe in redemption and stuff, but you have to be realistic.
yeah,
You
yeah.
have to realize that if you do this, they would do that. And as a lawyer, as a person who knows the system inside and out, as a person who's been against it on many different occasions, as a person who's seen uh, Fisk escape the responsibility time and time again, do you really? Are you really saying that?
He,
Jesus.
he's just like, we just gotta expose him and let everybody know what's really going on, and
Mm-hmm,
people will turn against
mm-hmm.
him. And I'm like, you can't be that stupid. There's no way you're that stupid. Like, it's impossible. You can't. That's your plan. That's your
I
plan.
mean,
Your plan is if we give them the truth, people will care. What's even the counterpoint to that in the same episode, or was that episode 2 or 3? They run together. And the person who's actually representing that's actually representing what's really gonna fucking happen is what's the deputy mayor kid? I forget his name.
Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel. He's the one. He had the line about, oh, it maybe it's better not to know, right? It's better not to know because what he said, integrity has costs. That's the guy. He's the one. Like when Kirsten was talking with her old boss and was like, "Fuck you," right, to him, and then and they're having their head battle in the courtroom. That guy, he doesn't have integrity, and he's being enriched for it. He and Heather literally, basically railroad Jack. Now, here's the thing: Jack is absolutely guilty. Like, can we agree to that? He's swordsman, right? But they don't have proof of it. But they've decided he's guilty, and so they railroad him. That guy has no integrity. Heather has no integrity, right? And we can get on her in a second, right? Uh, Everybody on the AVTF doesn't have integrity. Even that one guy that said, I want to help you," right? Obviously, the Fisks don't, but this Daniel and Buck, none of them do because they see how dangerous it is for to be on the side of truth, to be on the side of right. It's much easier and more advantageous to just be on the side of the bad guys because they'll enrich you. They won't kill you. They won't get, you know what I'm saying?
Not right away, anyway.
Well, I mean, that the idea is like, well, eventually justice will prevail.
No,
That's not true. That
that's not
isn't
even the
true.
idea. No, that's not even the idea. It's just not that justice will prevail, but eventually they will need someone to throw under the bus, and you're gonna be that person.
Yeah, it's it's a and the whole thing about Fisk, his weaknesses, and he knows what they are, is the people around him. So that's why he's so hard on that. Like, this is obviously he's being played up as a way more competent Trump. So like stuff like Buck being really protective of his image, like wanting to kill whoever's doing the fake Fisk videos, and absolutely wanting to kill whoever's the leak, and we know he'll do it. Like it's like stuff like that is like that people are their fates are tied to Fisk, and therefore now they are prepared to do anything to keep him afloat. in order so that they
Yeah.
can that if he sinks, they sink. So they are
They all go on
yeah,
trial. Yeah.
yeah. So they're busy trying to keep him above water. Um, and he knows that too. That's why he can demand so many things from them. Meanwhile, the opposition is essentially Bullseye running around doing whatever, right? Matt and Karen, you know,
Again, doing
they're
whatever.
trying to empty. Yeah, Matt and Karen are essentially trying to empty the Pacific Ocean with teacups. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Like it's we're at that part of the story where
And they can't agree on anything.
yeah
Like everybody has different methods, and they
yeah
can't agree on anything, and they keep like saying, "No, we won't fight alongside him because he's doing the wrong thing."
yeah get out of here.
Doesn't remind you of anyone, does it?
No, I no I will.
Only in fiction they might win and they will win, but in reality they're absolutely gonna
You know
lose.
what's funny? You bring it up. Matt is absolutely these lame ass civility politics motherfuckers. Especially here in America, the civility politics Democrats that piss me off so much. The other side is using napalm, and you're using fans to fight against them. You're come get out of here! Like it's wild. So these yeah, Matt, but Matt, no, I wanted to a character who I've despised made his return. I forgot that he had gotten hurt or whatever in the previous season. Cole North,
Whole North.
bitch ass Cole North. I was wondering when, because I was like, when is this motherfucker coming back? Bitch ass Cole North makes his return, and he comes hat in hand like, guys, just put me back in. I'm ready to violate the civil rights of anybody and kill anybody. I just want to be on the team. Fucking bitch ass Cole North. I can't stand his ass.
Look,
I know some of y'all like him from the comics. I don't
I
see it.
absolutely love him from the
I
comics.
don't see it. He's if there's he's the there's this is a squad full of bad cops, right? And he wants back in. Man, fuck him. Fuck Cole North. I can't wait till some shit happens to him. Anyway.
You know what? I don't know like whether they're gonna do really, really amp it up and make him the baddest bad guy. But if they don't, I'm prepared to like see how they handle it because it this would be definitely interesting because it's not really easy to redeem a character like that, almost impossible. But
Yeah.
we've seen
Trash.
weirder things done, so
If they do, essentially you have to think about it this way. It's a cent. Look, this is hyperbolic, so forgive me. It's like having a member of the SS be like, you know what? Can we redeem a member of the SS? You can, but you know how far you have to go to redeem a member of the SS. You know, it's such a hard task that the only way it works is if he dies heroically saving the hero. That's it. Anything short of that is you were still a fucking Nazi, dude. You were still a Nazi. Like you weren't just a Nazi. You were a super Nazi. Fuck no. That's why I really like the part where at Cherry's hospital room, and like the AVTF roll, because they're so used to just barging in doing whatever the fuck they want because they're FIST special enforcement. They roll up, and there's cops. There's current cops who are currently on duty. They're vets, but they're still they're still actual cops in the room, basically daring them. I wish you would come in here and try it. We know you're gonna try
mm-hmm.
it. I wish you would. We're gonna make something of it because you know how like we're finding out, and we're finding this even out about ICE here in America. Not all cops care for them. You know, some cops are like, "Yeah, I love you guys," but not all cops do. And these cops are like, "Nah, fuck you guys. If it's gonna happen, it's going down, right?" So I did enjoy that aspect of it. But how do you redeem any of those people? The ABTF are explicitly villains, not just villains. they're irredeemable villains. They basically made it out from the beginning that they are everyone on that task force is essentially a start out already starts out as a terrible cop, like a terrible abusive cop. Um, so I'm watching this and it's almost cartoonish how evil they are, right? But what's also funny about it is like I said on Threads, every fucking thing they do, everything you see them do in these episodes, is some shit that just regular ass cops in America. I don't know about in other countries. I'm assuming you're from Russia, so I'm assuming your police are just as terrible or even worse. But
I mean, in some matters worse, in some matters
yeah,
just as terrible, in some matters not as terrible.
that I'm gonna assume that if you stuff you saw in this episode, if a Russian cop did it, you would be like, yeah, yeah, pretty much, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the way I felt about. I'm like, this is like ICE is people are like this is all anti-ICE. This is not anti-ICE. This is this is as anti-cop as I've seen in a long time for anything because there's this idea of good cops versus bad cops, and they're like, well, this is just some bad apples, and I'm just like, yeah, but every single thing you've seen the AVTF do, regular ass cops do all the time. Like for real, like regular old and random ass cops do all the time. So this isn't like, just ICE sucks. That's not what they're saying. Um, let's talk about Heather. Um,
Everybody's favorite
you
psychologist.
know what?
Okay.
I need y'all to have the same fucking energy for Cole North. I need that. I need 100% the same energy for him. Dude. He sucks. She sucks the same way as he does. They are both horrible people. There, I don't. If there's going to be a redemption arc for Heather, and Heather, she's doing that whole thing where like they've done this in other shows where they have a terrible attack, and now they're being sort of haunted by like a psychological demon, so to speak. Muse is sort of fucking with her, so she's not entirely there right now, and she's using Muse's attack on her as her reason for why she's backing Fisk and his anti-vigilante shit. When the truth is, I don't think that has a fuck all to do with why she's anti-vigilante. she's riding the Fisk. As I said before, she's on the back of a tiger and she can't get off of that bitch. So that's what she's telling herself that it's because of Muse. It's not because of Muse. It's because she knows she's aligned herself in a way that she can't get out. That being said, terrible person, freaking hate her. Um, and the actress that's playing her is doing a great job. The writing for her is on point. I fucking hate her.
I absolutely love her because, first of all, everyone who creates more problems and more specifically personal problems for Matt Murdock is thank you for making the show better. Seriously, when he's happy, no one's happy. So he should be unhappy, and that makes him unhappy. But other than that, yeah, I write a lot of like posts and threads about Heather, and I don't hate her. I don't necessarily. I'm trying to understand how this happens to a person and what is exactly. I really wish that somebody they could tell us exactly what's going through her head. I hope that we'll see it more of it because I like there is justification she creates for herself, and yeah, I think that I don't think that she believes that it is it's dictated by trauma. I don't think she believes that. I think that she believes that she conquered it, that she's or on her way to conquering it and fixing it. But I think that she believes that like this cause that she is supporting is a good cause, and because of that, she is accepting everything else
Yeah,
that's happening. Uh,
she's
and
single issue.
she exactly, yeah. I think that it is half a conscious choice for her, but I don't think that she is. like you said, she's not all there, and I think that this kind of like has bigger weight than anything else for her right now, at least, because she's been interested in this topic way before that, because when we met her, she was studying this people behind masks and the reason they wear masks. And it's really not as complex as she would have you believe. For some people, well, for villains it is, but like for many heroes it's just pretty simple. uh in this case, I think that this is kind of her obsession at this point. This whole issue is her obsession, and her encounter with Muse only made it all that more important and relevant for her.
Yeah.
So I don't think that she's in full control of her actions or in her decisions.
Yeah.
So I don't really, I'm not really jumping on the hate train. I know that like people really rush to hating characters like that, especially when they're women, by the way.
Yeah.
And they tend to blame everything, like all Matt's problems, they would tend to blame on her, which is wrong, entirely wrong.
No, Matt's problems are
Uh,
he's because he's an
I think
idiot.
her problems originated with him. That's more like it. Uh, the the fact that she's not a great person, that is true, yeah, because like she does not have enough integrity. That same integrity again. But then we have also like, didn't he forget to break up with her?
Oh well,
Again, people
I
keep saying that like
that whole
maybe
Karen thing,
when
that whole Karen thing, probably.
look, that's not a we
But
should break up. That's not the
there's
same thing.
I love
Karen doesn't mean we should not see each other
I
anymore.
get
They lived together or something. It was like
I think I love that
he
Vanessa.
just
I love
he
that,
just
but
left.
yeah, well,
Oh yeah, go ahead.
yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, we don't actually know. I think they just stopped talking.
Yeah,
After
but still, like she had some things of his. They stopped talking because she thinks he could be dead.
yeah,
For all we know.
um,
And everybody thinks he could be dead.
exactly.
And then, of course, he didn't even like, I don't know, leave a note or
I mean,
something.
I get it. I think the thing is that he was
He
just like
just started dating Karen again, by
he
the way.
well he literally was just like, how could you you're seeing it because she said to Vanessa like, yeah, he had a real problem with your husband, um
Hmm.
and I'm like, that's a fucking understatement. Like, you are really understand, like, even to you, what he said to you about Fisk, you are really understating the situation. There was
Yeah, but
no
she doesn't know everything
yeah.
we've seen.
Well,
She doesn't
I
know
know that.
everything we've seen from Matt and from Daredevil.
I know that,
She doesn't have that information.
But Matt has made it very clear to her. He made it very clear, like when he was like, "Why would you work for him? Why would you do?" Like he made it very clear, like he has not just a problem, like he has a like there's a full stop. This ain't gonna work if you're gonna defend him or whatever. You're free to think what you want, but like he's trash, and you know it. And then so I'm not surprised. Like he ghosted her. Okay, she got ghosted.
He ghosts everyone.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
does, that is perfectly in Matt Murdock's style.
I think I think it wouldn't bother me too much if they literally ghosted each other, but like whatever. That's just I look. I really don't like her character. Not I. Here's the thing. Let me make it clear. I like the characterization. I like what the actor is doing. I like what the writers are doing. I like all of that. They're just making me really not like her. Like that, if she were a
You
person,
like the character, you just don't like the person.
yeah. Well, if she were a person I knew in real life, I would despise her. Um,
Oh well, I would have cut her out completely.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And she's like, but Vanessa brings it up. I like the whole little bonding between them, like two, they're the two
mhm.
ladies sitting and talking, and her trying to like set her up with Buck, who is
A creep.
he. You know what's funny about him? I don't even call him a creep.
He is
He
creepy as fuck.
he is a terrifying person for sure.
Hmm.
He is he is a mob enforcer with a British accent, you know, and that's
A
the
walking stereotype.
yeah, he is a but he has a little he acts like he's got refinement, but like, does he? And then Vanessa's trying to set them two up, and I'm like, I don't, whatever, fine, but like, I don't necessarily want Vanessa to be happy, but also not Vanessa. I don't necessarily want Heather to be happy, but
Oh, you think she would be happy with that
but
guy?
I think
Please.
I think
He's
I
terrifying.
yeah, it would be interesting. Like, she doesn't seem to know. She doesn't have a good discernment when it comes to guys. Even though
Yeah.
I suspect that she knows in her mind these people are dangerous as hell, and I could be in real trouble if I crossed them. Um, so there's a lot more to this. Like, we could go on for another while longer. I'm enjoying the show. Again, the episodes were fine to me. Like, they had some real promise. Like, the breakout at the end was dope. When, getting to see swordsmen in action, I really love that. Um, but some of the stuff I like, even some of the action sequences were fun, like that's all cool. And even seeing Angela, the little thing about Angela's, Hector's widow being arrested, over trumped up charges, all that stuff, that's all good. I liked all of that. I'm really excited for the rest of the season. um I feel like I feel like that they're building up to like a big deal ending, but Fisk is still somehow gonna, like, slither out of
Walk
it.
away. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
but I think I think what they're really doing is because they're focusing on a lot of the side characters. They're focusing on how they are going to be the scapegoats, how they're going to take the fall. And also, I like the jousting that Wilson Fisk does with his political adversaries or allies or whatever, people who want to check his power, and he's playing chess with them. I really enjoy, especially they brought in the governor. I thought that was cool. I want to see where that goes. It would be nice if the person that gives Fisk the most problems is this kind of like boring, unassuming woman that's governor, and if she gives it, because she has kind of power to blow up his whole spot, right? And she seems to be a bit more of an astute political animal than maybe the attorney general was when he was trying to come in strong armor at whatever. And we did not see Matthew Lillard at all in these episodes. Where is he? So a lot of stuff.
Well, the fact that we're probably not gonna get Mayor Luke Cage after that is a crime.
Sad. We'll see. Could happen. It could happen. The MCU is ever changing. So, anyway, I think that's all of our thoughts on these episodes, which means that we have come to the end of the show. Um, it's what it was a terribly short show. We didn't have a ton of news to talk about, but maybe we missed something. You want to say something nice to us, troll us, just general talk about the topics that we were discussing, whatever the case may be. You know what to do. Get down there to the comment section and leave your thoughts there. Of course, you can always hit us up. Supernotfunnyshow at gmail.com, blurred_force1 on Instagram, Threads, and on TikTok. And while you're doing that, do us a favor, get down there, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. All that good stuff helps to grow this channel, helps more people to see this podcast and all of the other things we do on Blurred Force One. And of course, couldn't do this without, my resident, what do you call our resident read hater, comics aficionado. It sounds like Heather Glenn apologist, which I don't know how to feel about that.
I like to be controversial.
So where can they reach you on social media?
Core_mixed on Threads, on Instagram, on Tumblr, on YouTube. Hopefully soon. Hopefully on Twitch soon. Eventually. Well, just look up. Look me up.
Yeah, I'm telling y'all, we gotta get it together. I keep every week I say that. Every week it doesn't
Yeah,
happen.
every week I say that too, but who knows when it's gonna happen? Eventually. Eventually.
Eventually. Eventually is a
Yeah.
time in the future. So, yeah. So this has been episode 125 of, not 125, 225. I'm selling us short. 225 of the Supercast. Thanks for joining us on this one. Next week is going to be a doozy. We're going to have to talk about three things. we have, I'm holding you to this, Polly. Invincible season 4.
Oh yeah.
Invincible season 4. Daredevil. New episodes of Daredevil and The Boys premieres. It's going to be a huge week. And then because it's a huge week for media, probably there's going to be a shit ton of news too. So, we might have to be here for a couple hours. I don't know. We're going to see. But,
Just hope that nobody says anything stupid.
oh, well, it's the internet. So, it's, it's a given. So anyway, I've been Mo, your comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by my good friend Polly. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.